Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 10 of Please Get Help. I am the host, one of the hosts, Jack Thunderbolt. Currently licking my arm is my dog, Bernie. The ever silent meme master, Taz. And then everyone's favorite Khajiit and animator, Tojik.
Hello.
Uh, this is going to be a fun one. Uh, little context. I was scrolling through you know how in like you go open a new tab on Google, there's the articles underneath the search bar, and it's tailored to your interests.
Supposed to be anyways, but yeah.
Yeah, well, that's how I learned about the new Louis L'Amour movie that we talked about in the last episode, and then I saw uh one article, and it said something that was like to the effect of Red Dead Redemption 3 is going to have to do this thing, and I don't think I bothered reading it. I could probably find it again, but it's kind of got this little dot bug into my mind about the feasibility of a Red Dead Redemption 3. So I I'm gonna kind of just throw my horse out of the shoe and say I don't think we really can have a Red Dead Redemption 3 because like I think that's probably too much on the writers. That sounds like they're gonna write themselves into a corner somehow. And it's like also like what more could you talk about? Like if you look through the entire cast of the first two games, all but like five of the gang end up dying in one game or the other. It's like what Pearson, Tilly, uh Mary Ellen, the author one, they kind of get happy endings after the events of Red Dead 2, and then after Red Dead 1, only survivor of Red Dead 1 is Jack.
Yeah. Pretty
And
much the only one. And I mean, there's the mystery of Sadie and Charles.
oh yeah, hopefully they got happy endings as well. But
Yeah,
it's like
this topic in particular has been one talked of many times before, and kind of like you said, the general uh the
consensus.
general agreement is there's really not much more they could go with it because you go too far and you're just um
Looking at the origin story of everybody, and that's already been mostly explored in the other games.
yeah. Well, like yeah, you go too far forward and you're pretty much entering not a western game. You go
Yeah,
too far back and then yeah.
if you do Red Dead 3 continuing Jack's story, that's not Red Dead, that's LA Noir. It's like
Yeah.
you can't really make an open world game of World War One. I mean, maybe if it was like Jack Marston becomes this like Jack London character. 'Cause like Jack London is like famous for like traveling all over and writing these adventure stories, especially about the Klondike Gold Rush of 1899. But it's like still not a Western. It's just the Jack story.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I think that's summed up my thoughts on that. It's gonna be. I mean, they pulled off Red Dead Redemption 2 masterfully. It's like the or it's like I don't know what anybody was expecting when it comes to the origin story of of John Marston and Bill Williams and Javier and how they all got to that point and how the ties were severed. But they did it masterfully, and it's like, can lightning really strike twice?
Very rarely, but not too sure how well it would be in this case, to be fully honest.
Yeah.
To be fully honest, in my opinion, the only way they could really pull off a Red Dead 3 is with a completely new cast of characters. Like either they come up with completely original different story. Obviously, it would still have to be a story of redemption, but like um
Well, it could be that Red Dead Redemption 3 is just a placeholder and it's gonna end up being Red Red Dead Ranger or Red Dead Rambler. And with that whole new story and whatnot, the Red Dead 3 is just a placeholder. But
I mean, yeah, but then it's not Red Dead 3 at that point, though.
it wouldn't be RDR 3. Because technically, our Red Dead Redemption 2 is Red Dead 3.
Well,
But Red Dead
yes, but
Redemption is a series within this series.
my point is, would it really be a sequel game if it's not with the Vanderland gang? It would be a technically spin-off. Now, I wouldn't mind if they basically took, Red Dead Online, gave it the GTA Online uh treatment, and then, well, for the most part, not some of their more recent decisions, but like, expanded upon it and marketed that as Red Dead 3, but
That would certainly be nice. And it's oh, speaking of Red Dead Online, I've been playing it recently, and guess what?
hmm,
Rockstar made it to where you can't see the names of other people's horses. Posse names are no longer a thing. It's now just X user's posse, and you can't see the name of their camp dog.
okay.
Yeah, like I've been playing with a friend, and of course she has her horse, and I go to interact with the horse and see its name, and all it says is thoroughbred.
Are you sure she just didn't name her horse that? Or
No, I'm pretty sure she didn't. Though I don't think she never told me the name of her horse, but I don't think I've told her the name of my horse either. But and I think I noticed that with like a totally rando horse earlier. And then made my posse to so we could do trader sale together, and it's the menu to go to reform your posse.
yeah,
Before it was mine was Clutch Regulators because the band Clutch that made the song Regulator, the Regulator, and it's just Mad Lightning's posse.
hmm.
That's out of all the things they can change about the game and do anything with, it's that.
I mean, it sounds like a moderation issue, to be honest.
Yeah, but it's
But
like
it is kind of goofy that they would take away, if assuming it's not like a weird glitch or something, that they would take away posse names, names, and
you know
dog
you
names.
you are right. It might be a glitch. 'Cause I think there was uh, it's, glitches are not a new thing to Red Dawn Online. Was that some point you could enter a livery stable and it's like nothing would happen. You'd just be standing there with your horse in a livery stable.
And it's funny that you say that because, well, it's not funny that you. What I'm trying to say is, you
Coincidental.
mentioned, now that I'm thinking of it, my when I said it was a glitch, my mindset was like, yeah, it's just bugged, but whatever. But then you just brought up that stable thing, and then I kind of realized, well, it could be a glitch in the sense of literally Rockstar's lack of maintenance to the servers. Because I know that stable glitch in particular had been there for a long time, and they won't fix it. As far as I'm aware, I haven't touched Red Dead Online in so long, but
Yeah. I think
so
they
I
did
mean,
fix the hunting wagon glitch though, where it was like you would try to summon it was either summon or dismiss your vehicle, usually your hunting wagon, and then it would just be grayed out forever and nothing would happen. And then you couldn't get your horse back. But they
huh,
fixed that after
I didn't
who
even.
knows how much. Also, can I say how hypocritical it is for Rockstar to be worried about moderation when GTA has like every slur under the sun in abundance?
I mean, yeah, I don't have a comment about that, to be honest.
All right, moving
It
on.
was it's not a bad thing. You're not wrong. It's just I don't know. It's like, yeah, there should be some moderation. Obviously, you can't just have people
I mean, definitely
popping
no
off.
die N word EA, nothing like that. But I think the first time I got my Red Bay Arabian, I wanted to name her Jewel, Jewel. As in what you would call a piece of jewelry or the
Mhm.
gem that goes into a,
Like a stone, a
yeah,
gemstone, a jewel stone.
right. It wouldn't let me.
And yeah, and it's goofy because I think I know why. Because
The vapes.
the vape, but um,
It was them down vapes. Them kids nowadays.
and I've mentioned it to y'all before. Actually, I was talking to it, or I mentioned something about it yesterday because me and Taz, or I guess you weren't playing with us yesterday. Me and Taz were doing heist on GTA, and we kept running into some interesting named people. And I mentioned how people get away with putting this as their username, but I can't use Tojik because it's seen as an unknown and potentially offensive name or inappropriate name, not offensive, but
Oh, I saw one username today on Red Dead, and it was literally Crow Sniper number. And it's like, wow, somebody thinks their shit don't stink. Fucking Crow Sniper, what are you, 12?
that just makes me think of the freaking. I doubt any of you two have actually seen the freaking Murder Drones show. I've only seen like bits and pieces of it, but there's the a quote from Uzi when she like hacks into this crow thing and it pops up the username like Dark XX Wolf or something like that, and she's like, "I made the name when I was 12. Shut up."
I was using my email a lot when I went to the mall. So like first it was the email for my GameStop account, and then I got roped into some rewards thing at this Hot Topic esque clothes merch store, and it's like I made this when I was 12. Bear with me. There's a stupid string of long, unrelated syllables that only a 12-year-old could come up with. Anyway, uh, yeah, that's probably enough talk about either Red Dead 2 or Red Dead Redemption 3. What if you wanted to talk about Elder Scrolls 6? That's gonna be a fun can of worms.
Kaz did mention it.
Hmm.
And Elder Scrolls is my bread and butter.
Absolutely.
Taz,
I'm not
oh,
reading that.
keep
Taz, would you
blood
like
left to
to start
yourself.
off? Yeah, for a second,
Yeah,
I thought I saw Taz's light up like he was talking. Maybe it was because I was moving. Oh, of course. We
that's
have
why
a
I said keep blood left
soundboard
to
in
yourself.
our server, and he likes to play with it. But I I guess to get the ball rolling, it's it's fairly common for like everybody to say that Elder Scrolls 6 is not happening, right? I mean, it's kind of become the consensus among gamers.
It was, but now it's confirmed. Or sorry, I need to rephrase that. Um, that was the consistence that it's never going to happen, and it also depends on what angle you're looking at. You know, some people mean that literally. Some people just mean it's going to take. It's not going to come out within our lifetime. But Bethesda already like they hosted a basically a charity thing where like if you donated money, you had a chance to win. You had a chance to
Name an
win a
NPC.
yeah to become an NPC in the game. So take that as what you wish or take that as you like, but it's like yeah, okay, there's some gears moving.
I guess. There's one post, and it was an article that's like Microsoft executive tells court Elder Scrolls 6 is in a playable state. And the caption of the post was basically, well, that's a fucking first. Taz says, Bethesda would be over if they canceled Elder Scrolls 6. Honestly, they probably should have been over with Fallout 76 or Starfield. At least the current leadership. Because, like, if you want to go into full on, like, heads roll kind of change to Bethesda, it's like if you want something like back to Skyrim, New Vegas, Fallout 3 quality. Sorry, Fallout 3 came out in 2008. There isn't a Fallout 8 yet. It's like you need to can all the like upper executives, and you need to can Tom and Emil. And I know that's a very very hard line position. That's like that's a very bitter. I want these losers gone kind of position, which is probably not going to happen. It's like they kind of something def. If I say something needs to happen, I'm more just gonna sound like statutotic terrorism. Uh, I guess the very least, they kind of both of them need a change of heart, and then it's like the creation engine has to go, which actually it has because they're going to Unreal. What is it? Unreal 5. for the supposed Oblivion remake.
Mhm.
And it's like, here's my opinion of the Oblivion remake. I think Bethesda saw the progress the Sky Oblivion team was making, and I've mentioned before, I think to you guys, and it's like saying that Bethesda was releasing their own Oblivion remake was just to discourage the Sky Oblivion team and I guess get them out of the way as it doesn't impact their pocketbooks like they did with Fallout London, where they released the next gen update, which didn't update shit. Uh, like the day that Fallout London was supposed to release, and it fucked that release up 9 ways to Sunday. Awkward silence, yay.
I mean, I don't know. That's your opinion about the whole thing, but
Yeah, that's. I admit I'm a very, I guess, very hardline kind of negative. Uh, Tess says they couldn't have started development until after Starfield released, to be fair. To be honest, I don't even know what's up with the Oblivion remake. I don't know if there's been any official info. But fair enough, I haven't heard anything in a while. It's like, I mean, if there was any update, there our feeds would be like swarmed with these kind of Elder Scrolls news channels or like the lore channels talking about their thoughts on it. I mean, that's what Halo Follower and Halo Canon do when it comes to Halo. Or no, not. I'm thinking of Hidden Asperia, not those guys. But you know what I mean. It's like s- uh 343 or Microsoft Dev says something and it's like or a new book releases or something or the other. Somebody like Hidden Xperia or Cami Shep will release something.
yeah.
Which speaking of Cami Shep, he's famous for his like lore short videos. Like he's on TikTok and YouTube, but he mostly does YouTube shorts. I saw one of his shorts today and I was like I was talking about how there was like some kind of it was a Halo Waypoint thing. It was like an article or a video or something, and I was talking about ancient humans, like humans before the Forerunners genocided them.
Oh
I
yeah.
was talking to this and that, and then Cammy goes, "I think we're about to see new ancient human lore." And then my only reaction was, "You have got to be kidding me!" It's like, has anything been done with the what is it, the dumb egg-headed stone sarcophagus bitch from Infinite, the internals? Has anything been done with them?
Mm.
And like I am so sick of 343 storytelling. It's like Halo 4 introduces the Storm Covenant. Halo 5, the Storm Covenant are gone in the first mission, and it's now the created. Halo Infinite. Oh, created aren't a big deal anymore, and it's like all happens off screen in a book, and then we're introduced to the weapon and we see old Cortana and we hear about the plan to take out old Cortana and I only played it once and I'm just sitting there like what the hell happened?
Hmm.
Where where did any of this happen?
This book that released a few days after the game, or actually before, or during, I don't remember. Like ODST, or we need more Halo side stories, to be honest, like ODST.
Yeah, that would be nice. Only they murdered Rookie, uh, a retired Dutch. Well, that was before the end of Bad Blood. Uh, turned Mickey into an insurrectionist, and then they fucking they put Buck on the put Buck, only white male, on Osiris to be the voice of reason about, hey, let's not fuck with the Master Chief. And then Romeo was just fucking mothballed on the Grunt homeworld for some reason. So it's like, I mean, it's almost like Alpha 9 was reformed at the end of Bad Blood when they had to break out Mickey and go talk to the insurrectionists, but it's like, it's basically over and done with. And it's like, that's that's probably not anything malicious on behalf of the developers or writers or whatever. It's probably just a consequence of age. It's like I think somebody said this about the Simpsons, like old Simpsons, it was reasonable. Homer wasn't the smartest guy in the room, but he was, an actual dad and a husband,
Yeah.
whatnot. And then new Simpsons is just they've kind of just flattened their personalities, the personalities of the Simpson family.
Yeah.
Let's check 27, almost 28 minutes. Boy, that was a rant. Uh, that's
And yet, we still haven't even talked about Elder Scrolls 6.
yeah, fair. Sorry, ram, I've railroaded this conversation a bit. Taryn, what do you think about Elder Scrolls 6? And I guess we should avoid any talk of if it's actually going to happen, or they're just continually stringing us along.
Mm. Well, I I do think it is going to happen. Sorry, a lady just started talking in my head. That got scary. Um, I am. I do personally think we will get Elder Scrolls 6. If it is it a right around the corner, most likely not. But I do think even if it's when I'm like fucking 25 years old, I think we will eventually get Elder Scrolls 6. Um, but I do admit I do have a feeling that the reason why Elder Scrolls 6 is being stringed along so damn hard is because of Elder Scrolls Online.
Yeah, that's a pretty fair assumption, actually.
It's unfortunately looking like 2023 or
2030.
2030, which, you know, And now going off on how long Starfield took and when development started.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
what, 8 years of the actual development, 10 years work total, and it still came out like that.
yeah, and kind of off topic, but still pretty on topic. I I kind of feel like this is the same fate for Fallout 5 because they have 76, and whether you like it or don't like it, 76 is doing a hell of a lot better than
When
when
it
it first
started,
came out so many years ago. And because both
2018. That's 7 years ago. Like before
uh
COVID was a thing.
now Fallout 5, I'm not sure that will happen.
Yeah.
Um you're that one I'm a little bit more lenient with Taz. Now, I know Hayden shared a few strong words about the infamous Todd Howard, but he has mentioned that they have plans for Fallout 5. He mentioned something about like Starfield. I want to say he mentioned something like for an expansion about it, then Elder Scrolls 6 and Fallout 5, but I'm not going to get into that. I just the more takeaway is these games will most likely come out eventually, but I don't doubt it's because the reason why it's taking forever is because Elder Scrolls Online is still very much alive and healthy. I mean, and I realize I might be a little biased about this because I will fully admit Elder Scrolls Online has risen through the ranks of becoming genuinely one of my favorite games. Like out of all the Elder Scrolls games, Elder Scrolls Online is my top favorite. I love the world of it. I love the community of it, and I love the storytelling. And it's kind of our for the most part, it's kind of where you get the most recent Elder Scrolls content because they're pumping out. I mean, they just had their whole freaking. I keep calling it a state of play, but it,
Uh,
they just announced
Expo.
like basically the sequel to the main story. Like we're basically getting ESO uh, one and a half
2.0.
2.0, yeah. Like it's not a new game, but it's literally the continuation of the story. And they're reworking the class system. You can subclass now. They're completely changing the way you can basically make your character. They're adding a whole new island and new lore. And so, and I mean, hell, from what I was watching of the stream, I mean, I forgot the particular part of ZeniMax that is working on ESO is called, but pretty much ZeniMax, they're well and happy uh, pushing Elder Scrolls Online along. And to be honest, the only other Elder Scrolls game that came out was Elder Scrolls Castle, and I yeah,
I
that's
have not played it.
basically Fallout Shelter Elder Scrolls. It's not bad. I personally like it, but it's not. You're not gonna get the newest game breaking lore and gameplay from it. It's a mobile game. It's a time killer, little resource manager.
Yeah.
And to be fully honest, from this might just be me, but I feel like Elder Scrolls Blades has gone very much under the radar alongside with Elder Scrolls Legends.
Can you really blame anybody on Legends? It's like, oh, we want a new Elder Scrolls. Here's Magic the Gathering from the dollar store.
I mean, I'd say it's a little more than that, but it is definitely more of a what's the word I'm looking for?
Niche.
It's definitely it's definitely pushed more for a different audience. Like I tried to get into Elder Scrolls Legends when it first came out, which and granted, I remember when it first came out, it wasn't called Elder Scrolls Legends. It was literally called Legends of Skyrim. Um, so you know, what did
Uh, take that what you will, I guess.
yeah, take that with what you will. I couldn't get into it. I'm just not much of a card game player as much as I would like to get into it, but um,
Yeah, I'm barely competent at Curse Against Humanity, and so
but I know I started kind of going off on a rant there, but yeah, I think that's
this is
pretty
the
much
podcast of rants.
summarized my rant. I do think Elder Scrolls 6 is coming, but I definitely feel like it's going to continue to it's getting pushed back and it's going to continue to be pushed back because of Elder Scrolls Online. And
Yeah.
same for Fallout 5.
Yeah. Uh, honestly, I'm at the I don't care if it comes or not. It's like, oh well, I've given up. I think when the creations update for Skyrim was announced, where they mashed their stupid fucking creation club and regular good mods together in the same menu, and then added paid mods, like not creation club mods that people could charge money for. I went on Twitter and I think I like went to the announcement tweet from Bethesda and I uh added Microsoft and was like, can you please take these IPs away from them and give them to a more competent studio? So that's probably says a lot about me. Tess says, I'm not sure Bethesda will last long enough to get to Fallout 5. And that's, I mean, as much as nobody wants a studio to go down, it's like that might be possible. Because, like,
Going off of
Fallout
that,
76 was strike one. Uh, Nobody really expected anything from Starfield, so that's kind of a hit or miss as a second strike. If Elder Scrolls 6 fails, Bethesda might just Microsoft might just take Bethesda behind the shed, or they just implode on themselves.
on the contrary, I don't think anything super drastic. I don't think Bethesda would necessarily disappear because, and the
I mean, the
reason why I
developers,
think
the
this is because
staff
they're making
will be
the
around.
what I mean is like, okay, so if Bethesda screws up and they fuck up the Elder Scrolls 6 or they fuck up
Fallout 5.
Fallout 5. With Fallout, at least, I feel like Microsoft would just hand it over, the Fallout IP over to Obsidian.
That would be so nice.
Um, I'm not too sure. Personally, I on the personally, I would also think maybe if they fucked up with Elder Scrolls, then at least this might just be what I would be hopeful for. They would hand Elder Scrolls over to ZeniMax because, like I mentioned earlier, ZeniMax is kind of the one controlling.
Doing, yeah,
Yeah, so they're kind of the ones basically controlling Elder Scrolls at this point, to be fully honest.
yeah.
Um, my personal opinion, of course, but so I I definitely don't think they're doing literally all of it. To be honest, pretty much. ZeniMax is pretty much the ones at the head or at the reins, head of the reins. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Um, as for Bethesda themselves, they still have Doom, and like Doom: The Dark Ages is already looking like a freaking banger. And as far as I'm aware, like for
That's
as
not
long as
really
Bethesda
Bethesda.
has Doom,
Bethesda
they
just
haven't
slapped their
missed.
name on it. It's id Software.
Or that's true. I forgot about id Software. Wait, is it id Software?
Yeah, I've heard it id.
Okay, I'm a little unfamiliar on the Doom side, admittedly, but um, I my point I'm trying to make is um, Bethesda would probably just be handed down to doing other because there's also that Indiana Jones game
Yeah,
that
actually looks
is
pretty good. I
pretty
haven't
good
played it.
right here, but I definitely feel
I
like
mean, it's hard to go wrong with punching Nazis and Imperial Japanese soldiers while being Indiana Jones.
that is true. But that's kind of my feel about it is if basically if Bethesda fucked up, assuming uh they do Xbox would kind of hopefully I should say hand okay ZeniMax you get Elder Scrolls Obsidian you get Fallout id you get Doom and then Bethesda you just work on this
Just
IP collab we're doing here. We got this IP. You make this. Go to your corner. Um. Uh.
speaking of ZeniMax holding the reins of Elder Scrolls lore, I think it was when I first saw the Starfield trailer, and I saw from the creators of Fallout and Skyrim, not Elder Scrolls, just Skyrim. And I think I immediately went onto the server and went, I told you so. I don't
Hmm?
remember if they changed that or not, but that felt pretty telling to me.
Wait, I missed the first part. What?
When I first saw the Starfield trailer, I think in 22, it said from the creators of Fallout and Skyrim, not Elder Scrolls, just Skyrim. So, while we're in this period of silence, here's a little reminder for you kids: do not pre-order anything. Don't don't even pre-order Candy Crush 2, all right? Don't pre-order nothing. See
Candy
the
Crush
game
2.
first, see the reviews, then maybe wait for a sale or something. Probably just needed to get that out there.
I mean, fair enough. But I don't know. To be honest, though, my mindset of that is more of, well, what do you recognize? What would what would the general audience recognize more if they said from the creators of Elder Scrolls or if they just said the creator of Skyrim? But
Well, I guess, but like you said, Elder Scrolls Online is popular. It's still kicking.
yes,
But then again, a lot of 12-year-olds playing Skyrim. It's like young people, people that probably
I
weren't old enough to
highly doubt
play.
that. 1 look at Nexus would tell you otherwise. But that's besides the point.
Are you telling me 15-year-old Taryn, if he had access to Nexus, wouldn't have been doing shit like that? I mean, not
Uh,
modding, but
yeah,
downloading
because
it.
15-year-old me wouldn't know how to texture some of those things or model them,
Yeah.
but also hopefully 15-year-old me isn't technically unsupervised playing on the internet on whatever. We're
I will
falling off
say
the
I
roster.
was hella unsupervised. Like I was
We all
locked in my room like most of my teens with the computer.
the whatever that that's not the point.
Yes. Okay. Do we do we want to continue bitching about Elder Scrolls 6?
I mean, I think I've said my piece and thrown out my theories on it.
Yeah. Uh I think I've got mine off my chest. Tess, any closing remarks?
We lost him to the GeoGuessr. There he is.
He just gives us a thumbs up. I think that's he's done. Uh one last thing. Speaking of I guess development teams that give us radio silence. Uh Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord was in development for the longest time, finally fully released in like 2022. And there's been nothing except like small patches ever since. Uh but this March they have announced they're adding an actual DLC to Bannerlord, and it's basically naval warfare for Bannerlord, which is a big thing because uh, the first game, Mountain Blade Warband, didn't really have that. It was all almost entirely land combat. And there were like some mods that would have like ship travel to get between islands and such, but I don't think there was ever true naval battle. And I've seen the trailer and it looks pretty dope.
Hmm.
So I just wanted to throw that out there that it's like sometimes things just seem abandoned and then boom, out of nowhere.
Well,
Like
and I
for the
mean,
longest time, did anyone actually ever think about a GTA 6 before the announcement trailer? But I mean, there was all the
uh,
leaks, but like from like 2015 on, did we ever think about GTA 6?
yes. That I don't think that GTA 6 is the best example. That has been a whole conspiracy on its own, but
Oh,
I
true.
get the point you're trying to make. The whole
Yes. Like it's like if there's radio silence, something might be cooking. Like, look how long they kept Red Dead Redemption 2 under wraps. It was like
yeah.
from the instant Red Dead 1 released to that trailer in 2017. The trailer had a much darker tone than the actual game, I think. At least in regards to Arthur's character.
I mean, I
But again, it's been like
trying to recall the trailer from memory, but
I very distinctly remember the I'll put you in a grave and then I'll keep your mama in black. And wasn't there a fire? Yeah.
the fire part I recall that's there's that. I forget what it's called in game, but there's that burnt down town you can kind of find, kind of I think near Strawberry,
I
at
think
least
it's
in
in
that area.
Westwood.
You go
Yeah,
there for one of the moon shining missions and online, but there's literally a burnt down town with oil barrels scattered around, and in the trailer, it looked like you would witness it burning rather than finding the remains of it in game.
yeah. Taz said so much of that game was improv from what I've heard, so I'm not surprised it changed in development so much.
True. And I've been meaning to mention it when you were talking about Banner War 2. Development hells are very much a real thing.
Yeah,
Like, hell, actually, we mentioned it earlier. Uh, I believe Halo Infinite was actually in development hell for a while, and that's partially why it came out kind of fucked up and lacking, is because they literally had, if I'm recalling this correctly, they had one guy writing the story, and then he left, and then they brought in another, and he tried to pick up the pieces, and he left, and it was just kind of this whole mix and match of going with one story and then just and then another and you know it came out very undercooked.
yeah. Have you guys watched anything about the behind the scenes of Fallout: The Frontier?
Not behind the scenes, but I've heard a
Aside
lot of
from the
interesting.
pedo guy.
I've heard that part. I was
Yeah.
not aware that's where you were heading with this.
No, I'm not talking about the pedo guy. Uh, we've all seen like the out of context, the Mike Burnfire Fallout: The Frontier out of context, right? We've seen how much of a mess that was, and you've watched the
I
whole
didn't see the
series.
I didn't watch the whole series admittedly. I actually watched Mike's breakdown of it, and just
Oh,
from what he was showing, yeah, it's well, from my perspective, I saw that they really liked making the NCR campaign,
yeah, that was one guy actually. There was like one guy entirely in charge of the NCR campaign, and he was so entrenched in his thinking and his greed for all the resources of the NCR stuff, for the NCR stuff. That kind of just everybody had to like,
work around it.
yeah, it's like you're making a car and dude just instantly went to work in the middle of the car and then everybody had to bend everything around him. And also there was
Or
like they kept a writing team of only like 5 people. And
that instantly not to drift another topic, but kind of reminds me of Michael Bay with the Transformers movie,
yeah,
where I think it was the fourth one. I just remember hearing how like there was a writer strike. The writers went on strike, but Michael Bay wanted to blow shit up, so he just filmed the movie, and the writers had to work with what was already filmed.
right. That wouldn't surprise me. Uh, anyway, it was also if you're interested, Mike and Zach have a podcast episode where they talk with like one of the leads of Fallout: The Frontier, the first version, and it was talking about that. And it was like, yeah, that was a mistake. We really limited ourselves with only 5 writers, and we're like, this time we're going like 20 writers. Just hope to make things smoother. I think that was the intent of what he said.
Which 20 writers for a mod sounds insane, but
Or,
not insane in a bad way. Just more like, damn,
too many
that's
cooks in the kitchen, or it's like it's low
you,
key
you wouldn't
impressive they
expect it
found
with a mod.
20
To be
writers.
honest, that's I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Like just of
Unexpected.
general basis is like, damn, that's a lot for fan made content,
Yeah, for a game that's 15 years old.
which I'm surprised can handle a lot of the shit that I saw was in. I'm just gonna
Yeah,
say it. I guess spoiler warnings to anyone who hasn't seen Fallout but the Frontier.
you're
But the
not
whole
missing
going
anything.
into space to fight the Enclave blew my goddamn mind. That
Not to
that was even
mention tank combat,
well,
aerial combat, the helicarrier.
the helicarrier. That was even the fact that they literally, and Mike even said this, kind of said this. They turned it into Call of Duty. Blew
Yeah,
my mind that the fucking universe didn't crumble within on itself from New Vegas even trying to process that. But
yeah. My modded New Vegas was like two or three mod storylines and armor and weapon mods, and I couldn't get that bitch to run more than 5 minutes straight without either the computer freezing or the damn thing just crashing. So like that is impressive. So that might have been some work on the Mike's end.
true. I mean, yeah, true. But yeah, regardless, I forgot what we were going on about.
We were just talking a lot about development stuff. And, that
Right.
was we're at 55 minutes now. I kind of wanted to talk about character run ideas for New Vegas, but maybe that's episode 11, or or we might just have time for just one. What do you guys think?
um, Personally, I'd
Studio.
say save it for the next episode.
All right. Yeah, this has been a very productive night. Thank you everybody for coming into episode 10. 10 episodes. Who knew we'd be here? Uh and with people actually watching.
Yippee!
Yes. Thank you so much. Again, I've been Jack. The one guy that's been talking has been Tojic. The guy playing with the soundboard, that's been Taz. We appreciate you so much. Uh like and subscribe, but more importantly, comment your thoughts about the developments of all these different games and mods, or share your own thoughts. Like, are you waiting for like Skate 4, or do you want to bitch about the story of Black Ops 6? What have you? Go ahead and put in the comments, and we'll read it in the next recording session. All right. Thank you. Goodbye.
See ya.